Okay, so get this, right? Someone recommended we do a deep dive on this talk by Belle Freeman. Live Up to Your Privileges, it's called.
Ugh.
And honestly, I get why it hit home for them. That story about her husband at the beginning. Wow.
Whoa. Yeah. Starts off strong, doesn't it? You've got this leader being super vulnerable, sharing something as so personal. It just pulls you in.
No kidding. It's not just like ideas, you know?
Hmm.
This is her in the hospital room, scared and finding strength in. She calls it a priesthood ordinance, taking the sacrament in this case.
And I think that's what's neat, even if you don't get all the religious stuff. Most people have some ritual, right? Something that connects them to, I don't know, something bigger when things are rough.
Totally. Like lighting candles, even if you're not like super religious,
Mm,
or certain prayers, that kind of thing.
exactly. So she's big on these ordinances. Two things she really hits on. First one, they got to be done with proper authority. Now, that's tied to her beliefs, but still, don't we all want that? That feeling of like legitimacy?
Right. Like anyone can say, I pronounce you married, but it takes someone ordained to make it, real. It's kind of wild how rituals work.
100%. Okay, and the second thing about these ordinances, covenants, not just going through the motions, it's the commitment, like to actually live a certain way, try for something more.
Two-way street then.
Yeah.
You're not just getting something, you're actively got to be someone.
Nailed it. She uses this metaphor delivery system for God's power. I thought that was kind of cool. Like the potential's there, but you got to have the right, what's the word, conduit to tap into it.
Okay, so ordinances, covenants, those are like plugging into the power source, but it's spiritual juice flowing, not electricity.
Exactly. And get this, she then takes us to Harmony, Pennsylvania, the super important place for her faith. Specifically, though, she focuses on Emma Smith.
Now, why Emma? What's the connection?
To me, it's like Emily's drawing a parallel. Emma, right in the middle of this huge religious thing, tons of challenges, kind of like what Emily was going through with her husband, finding strength when it's tough.
And they're both in harmony at some point, right?
Oh, Emily visits later, reflects on Emma's life there. But yeah. See, she digs into this revelation Emma got. Doctrine and Covenants 25, it's called. And even outside religion, these 3 points she pulls out are universal.
Okay, hit me with number one.
Divine identity. Emma's reminded of hers. Look, whether you believe in God or not, people want to know their worth, right? Their purpose. It's like, hey, you matter. You've got something unique to offer.
So easy to forget that, right? Day-to-day grind and all.
And it's not just knowing it, she says. It's living it. Walking a path of virtue. More normal words. Being your best self, I guess. Authenticity,
Walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Boom. All right, point 2 from this revelation. Purpose. Emma's life is hard at this point, but she's told to study, write, teach. It's almost like a
Divine to-do list.
Exactly. But seriously, even when things are falling apart, there's still good work to do. Having that purpose, it gets you through.
Yeah, life's a mess, but I'm not defined by it.
I like that. And finally, number 3, inward sanctification. Okay, yeah, sounds intense, but bear with me.
Breakdown time.
It's about growing, becoming better, but not superficially. Digging deep, facing your flaws, hard work, But it's how you become more aligned with your values, with your best self.
Living up to your privileges almost.
Yes, and she ties this directly to the ordinances, the covenants. Like those are her tools for that deep work,
So someone else, maybe they meditate, journal, whatever it is that gets them introspective,
Yeah.
makes them want to improve.
Exactly. It's not just a concept, this becoming better. It's something you do with intention.
Oh. Before we jump ahead, back to Emma for a sec. You mentioned daughter, elect lady, even queen, right? That's in the talk.
Oh, yeah. Powerful imagery. She's saying that's Emma's path, tied to her accepting ordinances, living her covenants. Each step, it's like unlocking more, becoming more.
Deeper connection, bigger purpose, all that.
And then she quotes her church's current prophet who says, get this, everything that happened in Harmony has profound implications for your life.
Whoa. Okay, so even if we don't buy into all of it, the message is find that strength, connect to something bigger, especially when times are tough.
Which leads perfectly into her granddaughter, Isabel. Talk gets super relatable again here.
Isabel's story time. Fill us in.
So baby Isabel's getting blessed. Her dad prays she'll understand the priesthood, that power, right? And Emily's like, wait a minute, why not? Why can't we all, no matter who we are, tap into that?
Everyone's got greatness in them, basically. Just
Oh.
got to unlock it. Which, isn't that like the whole live up to your privileges idea?
Exactly. It's about realizing, wait, hold on, we got to save something for the next part, right? Can't give it all away. And that's the thing, right? It's not like she's saying it's easy. this unlocking thing.
Oh, for sure. Not just flipping a switch. This is like effort.
Big time, continuous, like a way of life almost. Always reflecting, always trying to grow. And those ordinances, covenants, for her, that's the structure, that's the path.
Built-in reminders, right? To stay on track.
Yeah.
It makes me think, what are our versions of that? Even if it's not like religious stuff.
Ooh, good one. I mean, could be anything, really. Me, I'm trying to meditate every day, even just 5 minutes. Helps to center, you know?
There you go. Or like that walk in the park you're always raving about.
Hey, don't knock it till you try it. Seriously, though, journaling, painting, whatever gets you out of your head, that all counts.
It's that inward sanctification she talks about.
Yeah.
Still sounds kind of scary.
A little bit. But really, it's not about being perfect. It's about that constant striving, you know? Trying to be better than yesterday.
Never arriving. Always on the way.
Exactly. And she's so real about that, too. Like, it's not going to be a straight lineup, you know? There's going to be bumps, wrong turns.
Messes. We're human after all.
Totally. And those messy parts, that's where the growth happens sometimes. Got to embrace that.
What I love is how she brings those personal stories in, you know?
Yeah.
Makes these big ideas feel doable. Like she's been there, felt that.
Totally. Think about her husband, right? Could have just been, my faith got me through it, end of story. But she doesn't. She's honest about how hard it was.
Makes you realize, even someone like her, leader in her church, all that, she still struggles, just like us.
100%. Living up to your privileges, then. It ain't about being some perfect saint, right? It's showing up, trying every day, a little kinder, a little truer to yourself.
It's the trying that counts.
Yeah.
And importantly, she's not saying we have to do it alone. Those windows she talks about, those moments of connection.
Yeah, like plugging into something bigger, right? Wisdom, strength, all that. Doesn't matter what you call it, it's there.
And it's accessible, which I think is huge. Not just for the super devout or whatever. Anyone can have those moments if you look for them.
You just got to make space. And this is going to sound cheesy, but it really can be that simple sometimes. Like, put your phone down for an hour, go for a walk. Actually, listen to that friend who needs to vent.
Those little things, yeah. Building those habits, being intentional.
And it all comes back to responsibility, too. Not just, I got to improve myself, but like, how is that improvement impacting others?
It's bigger than us, right? Covenant, she called it.
Yeah.
Even if you're not religious, that idea. We owe something to each other, to the world.
Exactly. And man, that shift she does so subtly. From Emma to little Isabel. Brilliant.
Generations, right. This stuff, it's timeless. Little kid, grandma, whoever you are, that potential's there.
And you know where she leaves us? With Emma, at the window, that house in harmony. Simple, but man.
That got to me too. So much packed into that. Hope, uncertainty, like anything's possible, but which way is it going to go? What do you get from that image-wise?
Well, on the one hand, it's us and Emma said, right? And she's seen some wild stuff by this point. Miracles, basically. But life's still hard. The future's uncertain. And she's got to be wondering, now what?
What's it all about? We've all been there, I think. Even if it's not like angels and revelations, you know?
Exactly. Everyday version of the same thing. And that's the point, I think. Those window moments, big questions hit. Stuff's changing, and you got to decide what to do about it.
Life's what happens while you're making other plans. Bam! Curveball.
And it can be scary. But man, is that ever where the good stuff is. The growth happens, you know?
You got to stop, look around, recalibrate. And that's when you connect to something more, whatever that is for you.
100%. And here's the thing. We shouldn't wait for those moments to just happen. It got to make them happen.
Build in the reflection time, intentionally.
Yeah, whether it's prayer, meditation, whatever, 5 minutes an hour. Point is, make it a habit.
And don't just think it right.
Yeah.
Got to actually do something with what you find in those quiet moments. Otherwise, what's the point?
Preach. It's in the doing that we become something. And that's what I love about this whole talk. We're not just along for the ride. We're active participants.
Our choices matter. Even the small ones, right?
Yeah.
It's not all got to be some grand gesture. Kindness, showing up when it's hard, that has ripple effects, you know?
Huge. We underestimate that. It all comes back to connection, I think, to something bigger, to each other. Which, isn't that what she's saying about living up to your privileges?
Realizing we've got this.
Yeah.
Responsibility almost. Not just to ourselves, but to make the world a little better than we found it.
And that we don't have to do it alone, right? However you define it, God, the universe, whatever, there's strength out there. Wisdom. Love, even.
We've got to be open to it, though.
Yeah.
Receptive.
Yeah.
That's the hard part sometimes, I think.
Yeah.
Tuning out the noise so you can hear that I don't know, that whisper, that nudge in the right direction.
100%. And it's not always going to be some booming voice, Sometimes it's that quiet thought, that feeling in your gut. Got to learn to trust that.
It's a journey, that's for sure. And on that note, folks, this has been quite the deep dive.
No kidding. From ordinances to covenants to Emma at the window, we've covered some ground. Big thanks to the listener who sent this one in.
And to you out there listening, whether you're just starting your journey or you've been at it a while, keep seeking those window moments. Keep listening to that inner voice. You got this.